Do you know the 7 most important symptoms of crank sensor damage? Welcome to a journey through the heart of your car, where we'll delve into the significance of the crank sensor, its key role in keeping your vehicle running smoothly, and the telltale signs when it starts to falter. We won't stop there. We'll also guide you on how to maintain this critical component, ensuring your car stays in peak condition. Stay tuned to learn more about this vital component of your vehicle. So what exactly is a crank sensor, you may ask? Well, it's a crucial component in your car's engine management system. Its primary role, keeping tabs on the engine's RPM or revolutions per minute and tracking the position of the crankshaft. Think of the crank sensor as the eyes and ears of your car's computer, feeding it real-time data about the engine's performance. This information is crucial for the computer to make accurate decisions on fuel injection and ignition timing, ensuring optimal engine performance and fuel efficiency. The crank sensor operates in a challenging environment with constant exposure to heat, vibration, and electrical noise. It's mounted near the crankshaft, hence the name, and uses magnetic fields to detect the crankshaft's position. So how does it work? The crank sensor creates an electrical signal that varies with the magnetic field changes as the crankshaft rotates. This signal is sent to the car's computer, which interprets it to determine the engine speed and crankshaft position. This information is then used to control the timing of the ignition and fuel injection. By doing so, the computer ensures that the engine runs smoothly and efficiently, reducing emissions and improving fuel economy. In a nutshell, the crank sensor is a key player in managing how your engine performs. Without it, your car's computer would be flying blind, unable to make the necessary adjustments for optimal engine operation. It's like trying to navigate a busy city without GPS, relying solely on guesswork. In the world of engines, the crank sensor is a silent hero, continuously monitoring and communicating vital data to ensure your car is running at its best. It's a small part with a big job, and when it's not functioning correctly, it can cause significant issues. Now that we know what a crank sensor is, let's dive into signs of its damage. From stalling engines to poor fuel economy, knowing these symptoms can help you identify a failing crank sensor before it leads to more serious problems. The first sign of crank sensor damage is unexpected stalling. When driving, your car might suddenly stop running, causing an abrupt halt. This happens because a faulty crank sensor can't deliver the necessary information to your car's computer system. The engine control unit, or ECU, relies on this data to manage the fuel injection and ignition timing. If the sensor malfunctions, it could disrupt these processes, leading to unexpected stalling. Next, let's look at the second symptom: issues with starting the engine. Imagine this scenario. You're headed out for a drive, but your car just refuses to start. It's frustrating, isn't it? Well, a damaged crank sensor could be the culprit. The sensor plays a pivotal role in starting your engine by providing the ECU with the engine's rotational speed and position. If the sensor is faulty, the ECU won't receive the correct data, making it difficult, if not impossible, to start your engine. The third symptom of crank sensor damage is reduced gas mileage. You might notice that you're making more frequent trips to the gas station, even though your driving habits haven't changed. This could be due to a malfunctioning crank sensor. The sensor's role in managing fuel injection is crucial for maintaining your car's fuel efficiency. If the sensor begins to fail, it can send incorrect data to the ECU, resulting in an overly rich fuel mixture. This means your engine will use more fuel than necessary, leading to a decrease in gas mileage. It's important to remember that these symptoms aren't exclusive to crank sensor damage. They could indicate other issues with your car as well. Therefore, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, it's crucial to have your vehicle checked by a professional to diagnose the exact problem. But that's not all. There are more symptoms to watch out for. So stay tuned as we continue our exploration into the symptoms of crank sensor damage. In the next scene, we'll delve into the remaining 4 symptoms that could indicate your car's crank sensor is on the fritz. Continuing from where we left off, the 4th symptom is poor acceleration. Now, imagine you're driving down the highway. You press on the gas, but your car doesn't respond as it usually would. You're not picking up speed as you should, and it feels like you're trying to drag a ton of bricks along with you. This could be a sign that your crank sensor is damaged and isn't correctly regulating the fuel and air mixture in your engine. Moving on to the 5th symptom, engine misfires. We've all been there. You're sitting at a red light and you hear that dreaded cough and sputter from under the hood. Your car shakes, it jerks, and it feels like it's going to stall right there in the middle of the road. Engine misfires can be caused by many things, but a faulty crank sensor is definitely one of them. When the sensor can't accurately read the position of the crankshaft, it can't tell the spark plugs when to fire, leading to misfires. Next, we have irregular throttle response. Let's say you're cruising along and suddenly your car lurches forward, or maybe it slows down for no apparent reason. This erratic behavior can be a direct result of a damaged crank sensor. The sensor plays a pivotal role in managing the throttle response, and if it's delivering inaccurate signals, your throttle response can become unpredictable. Lastly, and maybe the most obvious of all, the check engine light coming on. Now, this little light on your dashboard can be triggered by a multitude of issues, but if it's coupled with any of the other symptoms we've discussed, there's a good chance your crank sensor could be the culprit. Keep in mind, these symptoms can also be indicative of other problems, so it's crucial to have your vehicle checked by a professional if you notice any of them. Now we know what to look for, but how do we maintain a crank sensor to avoid these issues? Prevention is better than cure, they say, and it's true for crank sensors too. Let's delve into the first couple of steps you can take to ensure the longevity and efficiency of your crank sensor. The first step in maintaining the crank sensor is regular inspection. Like any other part of your car, the crank sensor needs to be checked periodically to ensure it's in good shape. This is not as daunting as it sounds. You don't need to be a mechanic to do a simple visual check. Look for cracks, wear and tear, or any visible signs of the damage. If you spot anything unusual, it's best to consult a professional. Remember, a well-maintained crank sensor is essential for your car's performance. The crank sensor plays a crucial role in your engine's function by monitoring the engine speed, which in turn controls the fuel injection and ignition timing. So, don't underestimate the importance of this small but mighty component. The second step is cleaning the sensor. Over time, the crank sensor can accumulate dirt and debris, which can interfere with its function. However, it's not advisable to use just any cleaning agent. You need a specialized crank sensor cleaner. These cleaners are designed to safely and effectively remove dirt without damaging the sensor. To clean the crank sensor, first ensure that the engine is off and cool, then using the specialized cleaner, gently clean the sensor. Be sure to follow the instructions on the cleaner's packaging to avoid any mishaps. Also, remember to wear protective gloves and eyewear for safety. In conclusion, regular inspection and cleaning with a specialized cleaner are two simple but effective steps in maintaining your crank sensor. These steps can help prevent damage and ensure that your sensor continues to function optimally. And there are more ways to ensure the longevity of your crank sensor, but we'll delve into that in the next part of our discussion. So stay tuned and keep those engines running smoothly. To further ensure your crank sensor's health, consider these final steps. Firstly, let's focus on the crank sensor's electrical connections. They play a crucial role in transmitting the sensor's readings to your car's computer system. Given the importance of these connections, you want to make sure they're always secure and free from corrosion. But how do you do that? Well, it's simple. You just need to periodically check the connections for any signs of looseness or corrosion. If you notice any rust or buildup, use a small wire brush to gently clean the area. You can also apply a bit of electrical contact cleaner for a more thorough cleaning. Remember, a clean and well-maintained connection can prevent intermittent electrical problems that could lead to inaccurate sensor readings. Next, you want to ensure your crank sensor is replaced as per the manufacturer's recommendations. You might be thinking, why should I replace a working sensor? Well, the answer lies in the nature of electronic components. They have a finite lifespan. Even with the best care, a crank sensor will eventually wear out. It's just a matter of time. That's why manufacturers provide a recommended replacement interval. This is usually based on mileage, but it can also be influenced by factors like driving conditions and the specific make and model of your car. So check your vehicle's manual or consult with a professional mechanic to find out when your crank sensor should be replaced. By doing so, you're essentially preventing potential problems before they have a chance to occur. Think of it as a form of insurance. A small investment now could save you from costly repairs down the line. So, don't wait for your crank sensor to fail before you decide to replace it. Be proactive. With these maintenance tips, your crank sensor should serve you well. And remember, a well-maintained crank sensor not only ensures your car runs smoothly, but also helps in maximizing its lifespan. So that's our deep dive into the world of crank sensors. We've understood its function, identified the 7 key symptoms of a damaged one, ranging from engine issues to irregularities in acceleration. We've also tackled its maintenance, emphasizing that regular checkups and cleanups can keep it running smoothly. Having this knowledge can save you from unexpected breakdowns and hefty repair bills. Remember, a healthy crank sensor means a healthy car. Until next time, drive safe.